Co jeśli rasa TV-menów nie istniałaby, a zamiast tego byłyby zegary? Zapraszam serdecznie, bardzo serdecznie, moi drodzy. Ciekawe, jakby to miało... No to myślę, że to Skibidi Toilet byłoby totalnie zniszczone, nie? Na pewno. No zegary są mega mocne i sam Boom powiedział, że to by było... są broken i totalnie, wiecie, zepsute. Zostawcie lajka, porozmawiamy sobie. Jestem ciekaw, co wymyśli ten twórca. No właśnie, w 39 odcinku by się pojawiły, nie?
And since we're only considering the fact that they would follow the events of the TVs, you should note that we're also going to talk about any extra changes that might occur during this event. Trust me,
Ale moim zdaniem to też Skibidi Toilet opracowałyby sposób na te zegary, też by były pewnie z tym magnesem, nie?
to be really interesting. Anyways, in episode 39, who's going to save the agents? Well, this one is definitely tricky because we cannot use the regular clockmen, as we don't know what they are capable of. I mean, what do you think this alarm clockman would do, huh? We might consider using the large clockman, but even that would be a problem as the story wouldn't be as exciting since we wouldn't get to see this guy in action. Remember,
Ciekawe, no... Co, kobieta zegar?
in the main Dom Studio series,
tak
the
by
large
musiałoby się
clockman had to
pojawić.
sacrifice himself to save everyone and was brought back as the future clockman. Yeah, that wouldn't be happening in the OG version. So what we're going to do is assume that future clockman was already in the show. Hence, he would be the one to save everyone in episode 39.
A, czyli z przyszłości, okej.
Would this be an easy task, as he could just stop time and save them before the mutant makes any extra movement? Episode 40, on the other hand, would be different, as this time there are large Skibidi mutants, as well as the flying ones. So this time, we're going to be seeing him use a time dome and follow up with the chrono destruction to wipe everyone out.
Czy ja wiem, słuchajcie, to by było zbyt mocne moim zdaniem i nie miałaby ta seria sensu, jeżeli by się pojawiły te zegary. To by było mega OP.
However, we would then get introduced to the Clock Titan in episode 41. Now, just like we did with the Drill Titan video, the story could go two ways depending on the
No
version
właśnie.
of the clock we take into consideration. If we assume he begins with his base form, the plot would be kinda interesting, as the trio would assemble much easier. But anyways, no spoilers. He begins in episode...
No przecież on by mógł, wiecie, wskrzeszać uszkodzenia tych tytanów kamery i głośnika, wiecie, zregenerować ich, cofnąć czas i heja, nie?
To
by było mega słabe. No totalnie by były zanihilowane, nie? Zniszczone.
It wouldn't really cause significant problems. He could also stop time and use mind control on them, which would give him more ground in his battle against the infected speaker. This time, they could land some hits on the speaker while the Clock Titan stops time and takes the parasite out of him, just like he
No
did
to
with
jest
the Camera
prawda,
Titan.
to by było mega OP, jasny gwint, totalnie.
Only this time, he wouldn't kill him, as unlike the one from Dom's verse that glues with the host, this one just sticks, so it could be easily removed. This means that this time there would not only be two Titans to clear the episodes, but also some controlled mutants as well. With this, they would easily clear...
Ja ci gwizdże, no wyobrażacie sobie, jakby oni jeszcze kontrolowali inne Skibidi Toilet i ja ci gwizdże, tak klony G-Mana na przykład. Albo Astro by mogli nawet kontrolować ten tytan. Wow.
The 49th episode wouldn't be as chaotic as it was in the original. This would also make Clockwoman's job to save that episode relatively quick and easy too. And then, in episode 50, the upgraded Camera Titan would come to join the show.
No, jeszcze z tym tytanem to... Myślę, że Astro by też byli totalnie w czarnej... Nie powiem co.
And that is to destroy the Skibidi base much earlier, as now they don't have to bother uninfecting the speaker, since the Clock Titan has already done so. This also means that on the regular agent's part, things would be much easier, as now they also got the speaker race to help them. If you recall, the speakers went off screen for a long time after their Titan got infected and didn't help the cameras in any way. But
No
then,
właśnie, to jak tytan głośnik został zainfekowany, to głośniki gdzieś się zniknęły, nie? W ogóle nie brały udziału w walce. To było dopiero, no.
they came out of hiding in episode 59, as their Titan was then restored. So yeah, they would be helpful this time and wouldn't have to wait that long. Also, one thing worth mentioning is that the agents would be more equipped than ever, as now they got all
Może nie chcieli wtedy, wiecie, walczyć przeciwko swojemu tytanowi, nie? Dopiero jak został oswobodzony, to wtedy wyszli, głośniki wyszły, nie?
three scientists, clock, camera, and speaker, working together. This would mean that some cameras would be able to use time grenades and maybe time guns as well.
No no właśnie, bo jak się pojawia rasa zegarów, to też dostają oni tych naukowców zegarów, jasny gwint. Można by było nie, to by było, zegary to jest najbardziej OP rasa w całym tym multiversie wszystkich tych Skibidi Toilet i to by było totalnie bez sensu dla serii, nie? Raczej chyba, żeby jakoś kontrę Boom wymyślił, typu właśnie te magnesy. Ale to nawet te magnesy już teraz nie dają rady, nie?
Would give them a crazy advantage when fighting against the toilets. But I think at some point they would counter this by creating a watch. How, you may ask? Well, remember what happened in 42?
No tu mieli no. Jezu, lens, czyli obiektywy, tak? Te nakładki.
Yeah, I guess something similar would happen, and they would lay their hands on the time-negating watch. I don't think the scientist would even try fighting the Titans, as
No.
he knows he definitely
To nie byłoby tej sceny walki, bo on by, no nie był za słaby, nie?
lose. So the Titans would be the ones to get to the base instead. There, the Skibidas would send multiple G-men to fight. But come on, would that really change anything? The continuation of the plot from here would be kind of tricky, as we don't really know the route that the Skibidas and Jimmy would take next, but I think it's plausible to say that they would not work with the Astro. Or rather, the Astros wouldn't work with them, as we saw what happened in episode
No i właśnie, i czy wtedy jakby był naukowiec, co ciekawe, czy Astro by zaczęli inwazję, nie? A i jeszcze byłby ten zegar. No, to by było już ciężkie dla Astro, nie?
so they might reconsider and come together with the Alliance just as it did in the original series. However, would they defeat the Astros? Well, it's a tough one, but considering the amount of strength potential the Astros are displaying, I don't think the base clock could carry the team, as he would still get defeated alongside the others, and thus take a big L. Now, before I talk about the
No co wy, ulepszony tytan zegar to by zjadł na śniadanie tych wszystkich Astro. Łącznie z Juggernautem i z UFO i z tą kobietą Astro.
scenario, I want to say that Plungerman wouldn't die, as well as the Dark Assassin.
A, i
Seeker
Plungerman by przetrwał z Darkiem, nie?
Man. Since
To
this
tak.
time they are much more powerful with
No
their
to w sumie
extra
racja.
combat abilities and gadgets. Plus, since we're replacing the TVs with the clocks, it would be fitting if the future Clockman comes in to help this time, just like the TV did. Okay, even though it's not him, the Clock Bouncer would do a pretty decent job, right? So in essence, the scientist would be cooked. Anyways, in the second scenario, the Clock Titan comes with his already upgraded form.
O, wtedy już ulepszony tytan zegar to by był
Yeah,
kosmos,
things are gonna
ja.
be spicy, right? The
No
Clock
nie,
Titan would
ostro by
easily
było.
destroy everyone in the verse. And when I say everyone, I'm just talking about the enemies. Now, the Astros might be kind of tricky due to their speed, but that doesn't mean they can't be taken down, as the
No co ma prędkość Astro, jak on czas zatrzyma i
Clock Titan
tyle,
would still
nara.
stop them in time and take them all out. Besides, we have seen him stop an Astro with crazy speed as well. And even though we did say the threats got stronger, the future Clockman would be there to help, and you know even he is no joke. So yeah, if the clocks replace the TVs, things would be much smoother and more lives would be saved overall when compared to the
No ale seria by nie była taka ciekawa, jakby były zegary, nie? Jakby rzeczywiście byłaby jedna rasa, która byłaby zbyt OP. Co sądzicie o tym?